Good morning. This is John from the Mennonite Church in Springs. It's good to hear you today. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you're having a really good day, and I hope you're going to have a really great rest of the week. So today I want to continue this story about Jacob. Now Jacob is a strange character. Uh, at the end, he turns out a real strong man of God, but he hadn't got there yet. And what we want to read today and what we've read so far is he was a very conniving, deceitful, I'd almost say disgusting person. He cheated and he was happy to do it. And so here we find that after he's cheated his brother out of his blessing, he's left. Isaac told him to get out of town, if you want to say. And he has. And on his way, we run into this dream he has. It's in chapter 28 and verse 11. And here's what it says. At sundown, that's Jacob, he arrived at a good place to set up camp and stopped there for the night. He found a stone to rest his head on and lay down to sleep. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from the earth to the heaven, and he saw the angels of God moving up and down the stairway. At the top of the stairway stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your grandfather Abraham and the God of your father Isaac. The ground you are lying on belongs to you. I'm giving it to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be as numerous as the dust of the earth. They will spread out in all directions, to the west, the east, to the north, to the south. And all the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. What's more, I am with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. I will not leave you until I finish giving you everything I promised. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I wasn't even aware of it. But he also was afraid and said, what an awesome place this is. It is none other than the house of God, the very gateway to heaven. Well, it's interesting here because Jacob has this dream of God speaking to him. Now, there are lots of incidences in the Bible where God speaks through dreams. Perhaps you've experienced that. I have. Uh, and there are a lot of people who believe that dreams are essential to connecting with the spiritual world. Now, that doesn't mean every dream means something. I have some really weird dreams from time to time. And modern medicine, can cause you to have some really strange dreams. And I'm not talking about those, but this one was special. Joseph has left his home place. To say that he's running away for his life may not be an understatement. But he gets to this place and he goes to sleep and he has this dream. It's a dream of a ladder. I think there's even a song about Jacob's ladder. We are climbing Jacob's ladder, I believe is the name of the song. And it's about angels going up and down the ladder. And at the top is God. And in this dream, God speaks. Now, it's really interesting here, I think, because God promises blessings to this man who's a cheat. I don't get it. He could have promised it to somebody who wasn't like that, but he knows what Jacob is going to be like, not who he is. And today, God knows who we are and what we're going to be as opposed to what we currently are. And most of us really do grow up in our lives. Now, that doesn't mean we get everything figured out, but we do tend to grow up and get a little wiser than when we were younger. And so does Joseph, but we haven't gotten that far anyway. But he says that I will protect you. God says to Jacob, I will protect you. I will not walk away until I finish giving you everything that I promised you. Now here's the crazy part of this dream. Jacob wakes up and he says, "Surely the Lord is in this place." And I wasn't even aware of it. You know, many times God is at work in our lives and we're not even aware of it. Many times God is directing our path and we can't see it. The critical point here is that God is doing this. And maybe right now, even in your life, you can't see God at work. That doesn't mean He isn't, it just means you can't see it. But He says over and over again, and more, and as we go through the Bible, how He cares about us and He watches over us. And He's watching over even this cheater, this guy who stole from his brother. He's still watching over a character like that. Well, I would suggest that if God's concerned about this kind of a person, then not much you can do. That could be worse. Even if you don't know it, He's caring about you and He's watching over you. And He says, what an awesome place this is. It's a gateway to heaven. And then He goes on, and it's interesting because the next thing He does is He makes an altar to this God, but then He questions it. Let me read this. Verse 20. Then Jacob made this vow: if God will indeed be with me and protect me on this journey, and if He will provide me with food and clothing, and if I return safely to my father's home, then the Lord will certainly be my God. Jacob doesn't really believe. Now, you have a dream like this and you think, how could he not do that? Well, it's pretty simple. He's just like you and me. It's hard to believe God, particularly when we haven't been paying attention to him, and especially after we've cheated and connived to steal. So he says, if you'll be with me and protect me, if you will provide me food, if you will get me back home, then I'll believe you're God. People put a lot of conditions on God. It's really amazing. But you know what? All of Jacob's conditions here really mean nothing. God is still going to do what He said, whether Jacob believes it or not. And He does that with you and me. He works in our lives. He carefully guides us, and He wants us to walk with Him. That's the final line. That's the bottom line. That's the final point. Whether we believe it or not doesn't change it. Now, Jacob's going to find this out. He's got a lot of lessons to learn yet. We'll talk about some of them over the rest of this week and next, but maybe you and I can learn it too. God cares about you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Will you think about that? Hope you have a great day. If you have a need or a concern that we might be able to help you with, then give us a call. We'll do whatever we can, as fast as we can, to help meet your need. Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another thought about this man, Jacob.